you. I'm delighted to be able to address you this evening. Thank you to BTC and everyone for coming along here to this reception and for being here at the Conservative Party conference. Isn't it great to be back? Yeah. And as we gather here in Manchester, we do so at a very difficult time for Tamils in Sri Lanka. Over a decade after the end of the Civil War, the human rights situation is deteriorating under the Rajapaksa government. In a damning report earlier this year, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, reported the accelerating militarisation of civilian government functions, reversal of important constitutional safeguards, political obstruction of accountability, and intimidation of civil society. Domestic initiatives to bring war criminals to justice in Sri Lanka have manifestly failed. Not one of the names identified as emblematic by the UN has been subject to successful prosecution. Both the present and the previous government appointed people implicated in war crimes to senior positions. Reporters Without Borders have reported an alarming resurgence in attacks on Tamil journalists, and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights says that there are credible allegations of abductions, torture and gender-based violence which are current and not historic in relation to the Sri Lankan security forces. The Prevention of Terrorism Act is still used to detain people years after the Sri Lankan state promised to repeal it. Now, we all here thought that things might change with Resolution 30/1, and I think we should be proud of David Cameron's historic visit to Jaffna and the work the UK did to secure that resolution. And I think we can also be proud of the work that UK Foreign Office officials and ministers are still doing to secure a fresh resolution, including a process to collect and conserve evidence of war crimes. But there is so much more that we need to do, as Robert Halfon has so ably pointed out. Not least is to start to use that Magnitsky sanctions regime against the men who are credibly implicated in war crimes. So in conclusion, these last 18 months of health emergency have been difficult for us here in the UK, as they have been for many countries around the world. Our Conservative government has been very severely tested, but we've managed to deliver the greatest economic invention ever in our history to support jobs and livelihoods, and it has saved millions of people from financial ruin as a result. And this country's vaccination programme has been amongst the most successful in the world. And as the Secretary of State ably pointed out, and Nadine, we are so grateful to you for all the work that you do. Without you, we wouldn't be here. But now the Conservatives our job is to bring the country out of the economic shock to which it's been subjected, and to deliver on all our promises of levelling up and building it back better. And so now we're rolling up our sleeves and getting on with delivery. And I want to conclude, as others have, by thanking the BTC for all the work that you did for me in my constituency during the general election. It does seem like a long time ago, but you came out and you crowded the streets of me with cheerfulness and enthusiasm, despite wind and rain and occasionally fearsome biting dogs. So sorry about that, guys. I can explain now. But without your support and your efforts, I would not have been re-elected as MP for Chicken Barnet. So I'm so grateful to you.